We are live. Thank you so much, Dr. Deji, for joining me this beautiful afternoon. So I thought that it is important we could give a perspective, especially since you're a political scientist, we could give a political perspective to some of the incidences where you see happen for inside our country. The most talked about now the case of River State and Natasha Akpoti. As EB say, Kogi Central stakeholders don't write to an open letter to the Senate President Godswill Akpabio, pledging loyalty to him, and of course threatening to recall Natasha Akpoti. So they're pledging loyalty. Central, you know that's
Kogi
that's
Central people
stakeholders.
Wrote a letter
Yes.
to Akpabio, pledging loyalty to
open
Akpabio.
letter.
They should be in jail.
So
they should be in jail.
I'm coming, sir. In fact, let me even read the story.
No, they should be in jail. If they don't vote Natasha, why did they vote for her to represent? So you leave somebody that is just as if Jesus is denying God. Don't worry. Do your
so that and they're threatening Natasha that they will recall her, right? That's one of the don't give governor network. Okay, so I don't know if you're still there, Dr. Deji. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm with you, loud and clear. It froze at your end a little bit, but I'm with you.
Return again, and then we get back to the conversation very quickly. So yes, Kogi Central stakeholders have threatened to. Can you hear me now? Is it okay?
Yeah, loud and clear. Loud and clear.
All right, great. So they're also threatening to recall her if she do anyhow. So if she do anyhow, she could collect anyhow. So that's not part of the conversations we could look at. Then in the news also, River State, the struggle between Fubara and NGOs, as EB say, the Amehule-led assembly don't give Fubara ultimatum 48 hours, say all in political appointees, including the Attorney General of the state, must be sacked. The Commissioner for Justice must be sacked, and say because they're not duly constituted, and he must reappoint people that they will approve. And that must be done within 48 hours. And as I speak to you, somewhere in River State, there was a clash. In fact, an attack on Fubara supporters in River State. And some reports have it that about 8 people were shot. Some reports have it that about 4 people were shot. But bottom line, we say human beings don't sustain injury. Luckily, nobody died, but human beings don't sustain injury. We'll also look at that conversation. We'll look at other complaints. As Nigeria don't increase the human rights violations on Nigeria don't increase by 25%. And what does that mean to our country? And then Nigerian universities don't become den of secrecy and impunity. This, according to a survey, we based on a transparency survey reveal. So we're going to look at all of this and other conversations. Make we not also forget the fact the PDP in Anambra State opened their tickets, their governorship ticket for 40 million naira. Till the closing date of the ticket reached, no one person go buy the ticket. Nobody priced them how market. That's part of the conversations we'll look at. But let's go to that open letter very quickly. Yes. So the open letter that the Kogi Central Senators wrote to Senator Godswill Akpabio. Let's see if I can get excerpts of that later. So the letter reads thus to Senator Godswill Akpabio, GCO and President of the Senate, Federal Republic of Nigeria. For the benefit of those who don't see the letter online, make I help them read and finish so that we'll go know what's in the happen with the letter. So you can't read, say, we, the Kogi Central stakeholders, have observed with utmost dismay the ongoing brick bats between the Senate President, distinguished Senator Godswill Akpabio, and the Senator representing Kogi Central, Natasha Akpoti, and wish to firmly disassociate ourselves from the unfolding events that has become a national concern. That is, they come up body from where their constituents they for inside the matter. Now, further on that conversation, the letter reads, as a revered institution of government, there is no gainsaying that the National Assembly has, in absolute terms, that a matter that has to do with a simple complaint to rules, or compliance rather to rules, has degenerated to a virtuous attack on the personality of the distinguished Senate President Godswill Akpabio. We recall the immense support the Senate President extended to Senator Natasha long before she became a member of the National Assembly by virtue of his relationship with her then fiancé, now husband, who has been a family friend for over 20 years. Now, speaking further, it says, we shall not forget in a hurry how Kogi Central stood still when the Senator Akpabio led a contingent of very important personalities and politicians to attend the wedding ceremony of now Senator Natasha to his friend and ally, Chief Emmanuel Uduaghan. A wedding ceremony that remained a talk of the town even months later, the letter reads. Further, he said, this is a statement to the respect, shared, and value of the relationship between Senator Akpabio and his friend, our in-law. That is Natasha's husband. Now, not to forget also that at the time hope was lost for Senator Natasha's bid to represent her people at the Senate, a glimmer of hope was resolved or restored again through the unwavering support of the Senate President, who at the time had nominated Senator Abubakar Ohere as Chairman Committee of Local Content to invariably hold space for Senator Natasha, who was soon declared winner of the Central Court of Appeal, by the Court of Appeal. Now, Senator Natasha, despite being a first-timer, JJC, Johnny Just Come, enjoyed the privilege of stepping into a reserved role. She became the Chairman Senate Committee on Local, a committee many could describe as a juicy one. Now, to get due to an existing relationship between her and Akpabio. The letter further reads that now it is, however, so it is also on record due to Senator Natasha's first-line influence on connection of the Senate's president, she was able to attract meaningful empowerment program, which has leveraged to boost and advance her political career back home in Kogi Central. It is, however, shocking to see that since the sexual harassment allegation against the Senate president, there has been so many allegations and counter allegations in both the social media and conventional media space, putting the peaceful people of Kogi Central and in the pedestal of public scrutiny. Having acknowledged the overwhelming, overreaching support she has enjoyed over the past few months from the leadership of the Senate, we would like to categorically remove ourselves, disassociate ourselves, distance ourselves from the uncanny, that is anyhow and inappropriate behavior of Senator Natasha Akpoti. Say them wash their hands, come out like Pontius Pilate. Say they no follow for this her bad character and bad behavior. We expect Senator Natasha to recognize her strength as an equal to other members of the Red Chamber, act as a distinguished member of the Red Chamber, concentrate on the mandates given to her by the people to protect our overall interests, and desist from distracting everyone towards events that yield no common good. As people, or as a people, we are known for showing gratitude, loyalty, and fidelity to friendship. We therefore condemn the action in totality, utterances, and smear campaign of our daughter against distinguished Senator Godswill Akpabio. Forgive our daughter, sir. I know Nami the Adus Jara. He says, this is not our character. Hence, we, the Kogi Central stakeholders, may be compelled, forced, pushed by any further stretch of the ongoing public abuse of privilege of representation of the Senate. Commence the process of recall of Senator Natasha, while pledging total support and loyalty to the Senate President and entire members of the Red Chamber. We call on the Senate to proceed for the laid down disciplinary measure, take the necessary and appropriate action to serve a deterrent to other serving senators. The letter finally concludes. Oh, Dr. Deji, you don't see the letter where it say the Kogi Central people write to the Senate President condemning their daughter, Senator Akpoti-Uduaghan, where they vote into office, and hailing and praising Senator Godswill Akpabio, begging and making forgive their daughter, saying not beside their character day for inside the place. Make I take your reaction. Politically, what's in this kind of attitude mean by a constituent or by constituents?
Well, okay, because it is a democratic process. If we look at it, first, my first reaction to the letter you just read is, I believe that those people, it's either perhaps, well, I don't want to call them gay, right? But it's either they don't have maybe a wife, a daughter, or something, because it's a sexual harassment is something that is very, very strong. Sexual harassment is not something that you just brush over, especially when it comes with a denial of right or a denial of privilege or a denial of something that you feel you are qualified to have, and you are just being denied of it. So in this case, Natasha feels she deserves better, but she's not getting that better treatment because she refused to play game. So in that kind of instance, the outburst from Natasha is kind of expected, because the Senate still has about over 2 years to wrap up, and Natasha says that the way this thing is going, and in the true sense of it, Natasha is a big girl in her own right. You know, Natasha is not just one small girl or one girl that is big on the street. Yes. No, she's a big girl in her own right. So if you want to deal with people like that, I think Akpabio made the mistake of wanting to kind of like lord himself over her and not first working on her emotions. Women are very emotional. When they're emotionally attached to you, they can do anything and everything. But in this case, if you are a man in position of authority and you like made women, that's one thing that we can trace towards Akpabio, as in he has been able to identify himself as a man that likes made women. In the sense that women that are made, women that are at the top, he doesn't like small fries. So it appears to be. Because if you look at,
why?
Yeah, so it appears
why you talk like this? Why you talk like this?
Yeah, because the evidence abounds. If you look at Joy Nune, for instance, Joy Nune has been a long-time lawyer. She's an achiever in her own right. And
absolutely, that is the former NDDC acting, the former NDDC acting managing director, where he abused.
Joy Nune was part of the was part of the lawyers during this Okuta panel or something. You know, so she's a professional in her own right. You know, she may not be known by everybody, but at least people that are within the legal framework or the political circle, you know, they kind of like know her to some extent. So Joy Nune is not a small girl in the true sense of it. And if you look at why I said evidence abound, when the wife of this Biafra former Oga Ojukwu, right, Bianca, when Bianca was making a presentation on the floor of the Senate, when she was nominated by the president, and I enjoy everyone to try and go and watch that video. And when you are watching the video, don't focus on Bianca. Let your attention be on Akpabio, right? And I don't know whether you have the skill to kind of like interpret people. Don't let your focus be on, again, I repeat, don't focus on Bianca. Don't focus on the members of the Senate. Focus on Akpabio. Begin to kind of like assess him. I'm serious here. Begin to look at his countenance, his reaction. You know that thing that they said that, if Akpabio, you know, had to be Jesus Christ, I'm sure that something strong would have happened to Bianca. Something very, very strong would have happened to Bianca, because I'm stating my personal opinion, because from what I saw, when Bianca appeared on the floor of the Senate, in fact, there was a time that Akpabio turned himself to the chief protector of Bianca, in the sense that, you know, Bianca is quite beautiful in her own right, and people were admiring Bianca. So when you want to admire Bianca, Akpabio begins to come for you, and you'll be like, Akpabio, are you the junior brother or the uncle to Odumegwu? In fact, I thought I'm wrong. I was almost starting a research on, is Bianca related to is Akpabio related to Ojukwu? So if you look at the whole countenance in when Bianca was making a presentation and defense on the floor of the Senate, it speaks to something. Again, I would kind of like, tell some of our viewers, if you can just go back and watch that clip, don't focus on anything. Don't focus on the 10-yard agbada of the members of the floor, of the Senate. Don't focus on Bianca. Don't focus on her beauty. Don't be guilty of what we are accusing Akpabio of. Focus on Akpabio because it's not easy to look at. It's not easy to have a beautiful lady on the screen and you not be focusing on one Akpabio. It may not be easy. Just as some people now, as they are watching us, it's precious they are focusing on. They are just hearing my voice. It is one side of the screen that they are looking at. They know themselves. It is one side of this. They are not looking at the whole screen. They are just looking at one side. But on a more serious note, you see, I've given you 2 examples. Joy Nune, Bianca Ojukwu. The third one is Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan, right? And if you look at it, let's make a comparative assessment. Joy Nune made the assertion that Akpabio's meeting with him is always at the Meridian, Transcorp Hilton Hotel, right? Now, Natasha too also made that allegation that I think she told Ireti Kingibe, right, that Akpabio told that she should come and meet him at one hotel. But then, unfortunately, you see, I don't know, but maybe I'm not supposed to say this, but kudos to Arise News. But the way that interview was conducted leaves so much to be desired. Don't bring people if you don't want them to speak. Don't bring people if you don't want them to vibrate. This lady was in the spirit on that particular day. You may bring Natasha on here now, and she won't be able to perform like that day. The spirit might not be flowing in her to review things. So she was there ready to review things. That the way that interview was conducted, if they had allowed her, if they have made her to, I understand, the media protocol, time management and all that. But at the same time, if I'm the next guest, on the morning show on that day, I will tell the producer, don't worry, let this woman use my time because she's making sense. What she's saying is of national importance because you see, there are so many ladies that are suffering daily from this kind of thing. So if you deny Natasha Akpoti, what do you expect her to do? And when she knows that she cannot get justice, of course, what you will get is the outburst. But for Natasha's constituency, you see, is either, thank God we are not on public radio, right? So you won't say, oh, Deji, wait, stop. They're supposed to line them up first, and get beautiful ladies, very beautiful ladies, and give them maybe something like palm oil or groundnut oil to rub their body well. Then they now call the military to flog them. There's some factory reset flogging, whereby they flog sense back into their head, because their head now seems to be empty. It seems it is only disco, it is only merrymaking, that is in there. The level of sense, the level of intelligence seems to be on the low. And that cannot be tolerated because you are more closer to Natasha. Natasha is representing you in a contest. There's going to be a winner, there's going to be a loser. And the election has come and gone. So even if you are a member of the APC, whether you like it or not, this lady, Natasha, is your representative. She's the one representing you at the floor of the Senate. So Natasha is the only person, let us be clear, in this case, Natasha is the only person that can bring you goodies when it comes to the Senate. It's not Akpabio. No, Akpabio is not representing you. If Akpabio wants to do something, we take it to Akwa Ibom. It is only Natasha that can bring you whatever goodies that, the Senate can offer. So if something is now happening to Natasha, and for God's sake, the way everybody have been treating this woman, it doesn't make sense. It's madness. It is absolute madness. The way they've been treating.
But what could be going on? Because it looks like there is a direct gang up amongst everyone in the Senate. What is really, going on?
Sorry, man, I want to come to that gang up. I want to come to that gang up, but I want to finish with that constituency people first because I have something to say about that gang. And that Ekiti senator. See, you see,
the Senate spokesperson.
They come to my head. They jam my head. I don't know which way to turn. But remind me that Ekiti senator. I have something very important to say about that Ekiti senator.
Take your time.
Yesterday.
Okay, the Ekiti one, not be the spokesperson. The one where Abiza way fire on the bunk.
Yes, I have something to say about that man. But you see, these people, these Natasha constituency, it is just a utter show of shame. And you see, people will come and blame Judas. When they say, oh, Judas, people will come and say, oh, Judas, this, that, this. Okay. Now, you can see that Judas, when Judas was alive, this has shown that Judas had intercourse. Precious, are you with me? I'm going somewhere. Are you there? Hello, are you there with me? Are you there? Okay. Your mic is mute. I don't know if you see it. Your mic is mute. Okay. So it shows that when Ella, are you there? Ella, are you there? Okay.
Dr. DJ, are you back? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes. Your mic was moved, and I was trying to establish the connection.
Apologies.
Okay,
I think we lost. So we had network.
Now,
just go ahead.
This constituency issue about Akpabio has shown one thing, and it brings to my mind that, okay, let us go back to the days of Judas Iscariot, Jesus Christ, the 12 disciples, the crucifixion of Christ. And if you look at it ancestrally, the Judas that denied Jesus. So this further kind of like strengthened the assertion that when Judas was alive, that means that, Judas apparently had intercourse. And after the intercourse, his family began to grow and began to spread wide. But now everybody have mingled together. But now we're beginning to identify the descendant of Judas from these Kogi State people, because we're talking of sexual harassment. And you see, they are kind of like trying to ridicule the woman. This is a personal battle. She's fighting a personal battle, trying to make things go on for herself to the benefit. I don't know if you are there. I don't know if you can hear me. To the benefit of
I can hear you very well.
To the benefit of the people of Kogi State. That is what Natasha is fighting for. She's fighting to be heard so that she can bring goodies to her constituency. Utter shame, nonsensical for the people in that same constituency to now be conspiring against her. I can only label those people that are ignorant, people that doesn't know the function of the Senate, people that doesn't know the function of the legislature, people that doesn't know what it means to represent the constituency on the floor of the upper legislative chamber of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. I can only label such people descendants of Judas. And that is what I can label them. So for me, I think it should just be disregarded, because in the true sense of it, if you look at it, the argument, holds no water. They appear to be like paid, they are just like, should I say, paid supporters. That's how I can put it. So for me, they are not people of consequence.
So you do not believe that it's almost all her constituents that came together to condemn her actions?
No, it's not possible, because let us look at it. Let us look at something. The election was held in 2023, and rightly or wrongly, Natasha won, right? And it means that majority of the people in her constituency want her to represent them. So if you look at between 2023 and 2025 to this moment, what has Natasha done that we can say would warrant that particular shift? She hasn't done anything like significantly wrong in terms of constituency representation. And those people that are writing against her, we should begin to check them too. Do they have history of harassment? Because why would you want to support? Because you are not calling for investigation. For instance, if pressure comes forward and say, oh, somebody harassed her, and you are not calling for investigation, you are not thinking about protecting Precious. You are just trying to water everything down, and you're just trying to make it look normal. No, one of the things a woman cherishes most is her privacy. And my viewers can attest to it. If Precious wants to be truthful, if Precious wants to be truthful, one of the things
you just have a way of coming for me. Don't worry.
My mind, please. Don't tell me to off my mind.
Honorable. This case is before the court already. Don't worry. Let the court address it.
If you don't want to speak to us, let me call promise. there's a lady there by your side, as pretty as well. Call her. She will testify that
she's no longer
one of the things. No, you can't sack promise. So if you sack her, I'm off. I'm off from the show. Now you see, one of the things a woman cherishes most is her privacy. And on a more serious note, if a woman likes you, that privacy that she has becomes nothing to her. She wants to share that privacy with you. Anytime, anywhere, anytime, anywhere, everywhere, just give me the words. But if she doesn't like you, or you are forcing yourself, and let us look at this thing. Now, assuming but not conceding that Akpabio truly made the gesture, I won't say whether Akpabio made the sexual gesture at her or not, because I'm not there. So I need to give Akpabio the benefit of the doubt. The only thing that I have is what is in public domain about Joy Nune, when she asserted that she slapped Akpabio, and she said she is the only Port Harcourt woman. And people were saying, Joy Nune, Mechonu give you there, keep quiet. Are you sure you are the only Port Harcourt woman? Do you know how many Port Harcourt women have been slapping Akpabio? How are you sure that you are the only Port Harcourt woman that has slapped Akpabio? But that's on a lighter note. So I don't think that these things should just be brushed under the carpet. The way they've been acting, sincerely, I really don't like it, because at the end of the day, Akpabio, may walk free, but he will be walking on clean. Walking free is different from walking clean. If you are a presidential material,
Dr. Deji, are you there? Please go ahead.
Yes, loud and clear. If you are a number 3 citizen of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, you not only need to walk clean, but you also need to you not only need to walk free, but you also need to walk clean.
Clean.
What the Senate is doing now, we only make Akpabio to walk free, but it will not walk clean. So even if Akpabio is not guilty, you see, at the end of the day, they will not make him to walk clean. Akpabio needs to walk in 2 ways. Walking free. At the end of the day, he will definitely walk free, because the Senate has dismissed the petition. And of course, the senators, particularly the one loyal to him, have shown signs that they are willing to go all out to use their mightiness to stampede anything that will come the way of Akpabio. That is walking free, right? Rightly or wrongly, you would have walked free. But it's different from walking clean. In this instance, walking clean comes with, how do people see? People are watching. You have your own perspective. I have my own perspective. The international community have their perspective. So you as a senator doesn't mean you are the best in your constituency. By the way Nigeria play their politics, you are just perhaps the most lucky one, not the most intelligent, not the most intellectual. You are just the most lucky out of the people that are jostling for the race, maybe by virtue of your pocket, by virtue of godfatherism, by virtue of you being crazy enough, or by virtue of political patronage from the political elite that have now, say, okay, you go there because we kind of like, for instance, let me break some tables here. Okoyemi Bamidele, that was making noise at the floor of the Senate, is one of those that benefit from political patronage. You remember the election of Fayemi? You remember the election of Fayemi when there was a gun issue, there was a bullet issue, and Bola Ahmed Tinubu, in his magnanimity, they decided that they should fly Okoyemi Bamidele abroad to have the best of treatment. When they brought him back, it was that time that I now had opportunity as a way of compensation, which is more like a political patronage that this guy has suffered. Then they gave him that senatorial ticket. He was one of those that was speaking against Natasha Akpoti yesterday. Now, let me speak about the rules of the Senate, which I believe some of our viewers will be very interested in. You see, the rules of the Senate, it's fine that you may have a rule that, okay, Natasha, if you want to submit a petition, you must not be the one writing the petition and signing it by yourself. That's fine.
By yourself.
That's correct. It's an established rule of the Senate. But laws are made for man. Laws are made to bring justice to man. Laws are made for the benefit of man. Laws are made to bring equality, justice, and fairness. And some of my viewers can narrow it down to the earlier days where life was short, nasty, and brutish. You can put it on Google, short, nasty, and brutish, and you read more about it, about how the state, eventually evolved. But that's another discussion for another day. So if laws are made for man, and in this case, Natasha has brought about, she had brought forward a strong allegation against the number 3 citizen of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Because laws are made for man. And the grace, if the grace of God can abound, you know, they say the grace of God abound. If the grace of God abound, then what is wrong with the Nigerian Senate? Why would the Nigerian Senate lacks grace when God himself is not lacking in grace? You know, God is the owner of heaven and earth, the waters, the stream, you know, your life, my life, all belongs to God. So if that kind of person can have grace, if his grace can abound, what is the Nigerian Senate? Why would the Nigerian Senate lacks grace? Particularly,
Dr. Deji, are you saying?
I'm coming, man. Particularly to one of their members. So if you can lack grace to one of your members, what if it is an Omosholade that is bringing forward a petition? If grace cannot, if grace cannot abound to one of your members, one of you out of 109, just 109, one of you cannot enjoy grace. Now, what will now happen if it is a precious any that is bringing forward something to the Nigerian Senate? Let us look at it from that perspective, in the sense that, what am I saying? Natasha is a first-time senator. Everybody makes mistakes. The rules are there. That's fine. That's correct. You cannot change the rules because of Natasha. But then the aspect of grace comes in. And that is where Akpabio himself messed himself up. In the sense that you can tell Natasha, okay, there is an error in this your petition. Go amend it, bring it forward at the next legislative session. What an intelligent submission. You know, like you can imagine, you will see the transparency that we want to hear you. We are not eager to stampede you. So if you see the likes of Okoyemi Bamidele, who, if anybody mistakenly touch his wife or his daughter, you know, if you want to know that Okoyemi Bamidele has some form of grace in him, show me his daughter. Let me go and spank her butt without permission. You know, let me just use my hand like this to grab her butt. Then you will know that that same Okoyemi Bamidele that is roaring in the Senate, all in defense of Akpabio, you know that Okoyemi Bamidele, you know they take harassment play. I'm telling you, no, see, let us practicalize this thing. You know, I think, you know, perhaps we should begin to do some social experiment. Senator Itagiwa, you know, appeared on our rise and was busily defending the indefensible. If you want to know whether the senator can agree to that, Senator Kingibe, Senator Biodun Olutimi or something like that of Ekiti State that was fighting with Fayoshe for leaderships some time ago. I think she's a former deputy governor, Biodun Olujimi of Ekiti State. That former senator, though the way they were all rationalizing it, the way they were all trivializing it, I think sexual harassment is something that, you know, well, it's normal. So
that is the part that is paining me, Dr. Deji. That's what I'm trying to say. What is really the secret going on in that Senate? Why is it? I'm sorry.
Be running away from there,
I'm sorry.
Be running away from there because every
woman in Nigeria would have had their own facial harassment.
When you see your viewers, be very careful with them. Because from what your seniors, you know, people that are older than you, some of them old enough to give birth to you, the way they've trivialized the harassment, as if somebody sees you now, you know, it is, it is good for somebody to make advances at you, you know, touch you anyhow and say, oh, this is my chapel, you know, maybe we can have some nice time, or, you know, such kind of a thing. Because they made it appear as if it is normal. But it is not normal. But it is not that maybe it happened or not. It is about the reaction of the people.
Absolutely.
It is about how the people, you see, they're even doing more damage to Akpabio said, in the sense that the way they want to protect the man, they are now even ridiculing the man in the cause of overprotection. They are doing it in an embarrassing manner.
So, Dr. Deji, you never even answer my question. I say, what does this thing mean to the caliber of people we will put to the make laws for us? If their own law book no make provision for when their own member they harassed or intimidated, there's no provision of such, because how can you say that I am the one who is the beneficiary of the intimidation and the harassment, and I will now go and collect signature from my constituencies, my constituents, or I must need signatures from my fellow colleagues in case the people then will be my fellow colleague when they harass me, they against me in call, then who will come help me sign? Do you understand? So the problem is that what does it tell about a Nigerian Senate? The fact that we have a Senate that even makes rules, that does not make provision for rules that properly regulate themselves there. Because this is very embarrassing. Can this happen in any other part of the world? And it is shame me, say people for other countries feel they hear this thing about Nigeria. They go say sexual harassment. Now Nigerians, they do like this, they play games about, including women. Yesterday, when Senator Natasha was talking, Ireti Kingibe almost was trying to shut her up. She kept raising her hands, she kept making her face, she kept, doing, and you just be wondering, what the hell is going on? Somebody said I've been sexually harassed, and not just that I was harassed, that harassment stopped you, as in is affecting my duty to my constituents. Because it don't cost you, the Senate President, to stop me from doing the things and what I'm supposed to do for my people. That should be taken seriously. So what does it tell? What did it tell to the caliber of people who will carry compute in charge of our laws? Now, they are not the thing they pay me well.
Well, what it tells is it speaks to the character of the people. It speaks to the background. It speaks to the exposure of the people. If we look at our leadership recruitment process, most of the people that are opportune to find themselves in leadership position are not the best. Not really, I think the best should lead the rest, but most times what we have is sometimes the worst. We even find his way to be leading the rest. And when situations like that happen, you would see that, what you are supposed to get, you won't get it. And that's why Nigeria is the way it is in terms of leadership, in terms of infrastructure, in terms of development. That's why Nigeria is the way it is at the moment, because you can't exclude the leadership that we have in Nigeria from the way the country is, economic-wise, security-wise, and all that. So it speaks to the kind of leaders that we have. But then that they find themselves in that position, I think it's not really an issue. They're already there. But then how they have been able to fit into, how they have been able to kind of wear on the charisma that is necessary with that position, how they have been able to adapt to what is needed to that to succeed in that position is a different ball game entirely, in the sense that if you don't have the required experience, exposure, maturity, intelligence to be a senator, if you find yourself as a senator, it is expected that ordinarily you begin to shape yourself. You begin to shape yourself, molding yourself into perfection, just so that your conduct is just like person will not get money, will never see money in his life before. If that person see money, it is expected that, and that person has visa to travel to US, UK, Canada, and all these countries, it's expected that that person would have learned some things and will begin to live life in such a way that that money will begin to reflect for in life. So I think that these people, they rose through the ranks, but at the end of the day, it's not even reflecting in them, because I must emphasize this again. The way they are trying to shut down Natasha, it itself is a problem. You see, if you want to shut down Natasha, there are a lot of matured ways that you can do it. A lot of matured ways, in the sense that it won't appear as if you want to shut her down. No, you let the process go on. Then there are ways you stylishly, shut her down, and things would have gone very smoothly. In fact, that Natasha will still go ahead to present a petition on the floor of the Senate is an indictment to the members of the Senate itself. Perhaps if Senator Ireti Kingibe, who, unintelligently, I must say, referring to Natasha as a child, why you may want to be a super Yugu, why you may want to feel fly that, oh, Natasha, she's old enough to be my daughter, I've taken her as my daughter, it's also a disgrace to you that you are sitting in the chamber with your daughter's mate. Are you not ashamed of yourself? Are you not ashamed of yourself? So if Natasha is your daughter, right, is it not shameful that you are sitting in the Senate with your daughter's mate? I think that should be the response to Senator Ireti Kingibe. But if Senator Ireti Kingibe, perhaps if she had spoken well, if she had, engaged Natasha would have revealed a lot of secrets to her. All the moves that Akpabio made would have been revealed. Lest I forget, there are three perspectives as regards any relation between a man and a woman. The first perspective is that of the side of the man. The second perspective is that of the side of the woman. The third perspective is what is between them that they won't tell anybody until it is necessary. Again, I repeat, when you see any man and woman, there are three perspectives, especially when it becomes to go into love, emotion, sex, and all that. Three perspectives. That, the oration of the man, the oration of the woman, and what is between them that they won't tell anybody. And I'll give you examples to that. When Akpabio made that advancement at Natasha, when Natasha got home, according to her own oration on Arise News, she didn't reveal it to her husband. She decided to keep it away for reason best known to her, maybe because the husband and Akpabio were long-time friends, right? She started to keep it to herself. But when the water don't pass Gary, she's the one that is now revealing it. And that covers the third aspect of what is between them that they won't tell anybody. And if people allow her, if time permits, she will bring more revelation of what is between them that she hasn't told anybody. Now, we know the side of Akpabio, we know the side of Natasha, but then it is that investigation that will give us what is between them that hasn't been told. But why is the Nigerian Senate denying Nigerians that opportunity to know what is between them? To know, some of the things that have been going on behind the scene, as Akpabio made further remarks, as Akpabio given her appointment, are there evidence? And Natasha said she has this evidence. So the way the senators have conducted themselves leaves a lot to be desired. And let's not forget, you see that Ekiti senator,
that your friend. Fayemi don't deny, say Natasha not talk anything like that at all. Say, you know, put yourself for that matter.
I am a political scientist, and if they are to do a contest on the floor of the Nigerian Senate, and they are doing like a senator's identification contest, particularly if you are not a first-time senator, if I'm one of the participants, I can safely say that if I don't come first, I'll come second. Bad as it bad. No matter the people you want to bring there, I will come third. Even some of those at the National Assembly that they are workers there. I am not a worker in the National Assembly. If they do senators identification contest, I'll come first, second, or third. I don't go come fourth. That one I'm sure of. But should I shock you? Despite the fact that I'm always in touch with politics and happenings in the polity, despite the fact that I'm a political scientist and there's no news that that I'm almost not aware of, I don't know that senator.
Senator Cyril.
I don't know him.
I don't know him.
I don't know him.
So that means he's not doing his job well. Because if you say they're doing job well, if you know him, and you be Yoruba man,
that's where I'm going. No, apart from being a Yoruba man, naturally being a political scientist that is in touch with politics and happenings in the polity, I would have known him or heard of him. I don't know him. I've never heard of him. That yesterday was the first time. Now, not knowing him, maybe it's a fault on my own part. Maybe I wasn't the one that is conversant enough. Okay, don't let me exonerate myself. But then, if this senator have this kind of energy, the energy that he was using to present, his case, and he was breathing heavily, and he was, you begin to think that
against Natasha using for a miss case. What does that mean? That's when waiting a mean. To show say, is that not indicting to Akpabio that? Because he's basically just trying to say that it's not only Akpabio that has bad character. Let's also talk about the bad character of Natasha herself. Is that not stylishly indicting Akpabio?
You see, in this case, Akpabio is even out of it. In the true sense of it, we're talking about the senator here. Something happened. Akpabio is your colleague. Natasha is your colleague, right? And because you want to show, that, you are lawyer, all these things, it is because Akpabio has so much powers, chairman of committee, goodies, contract, all this kind of thing. Ordinarily, if Natasha were to be the Senate president, that's how all of them will tilt towards her. If you are the Senate president tomorrow, most of them will tilt towards you because power.
So it's just pure psychophancy
in this country. But if you want to defend, okay, let me break it down further. Natasha brought a sexual harassment petition.
Yes.
You now say that because somebody brought a sexual harassment petition, you now want to be looking at the character of the person. Let us look at, and now you now brought a case of fraud, a case of abuse of office into a sexual harassment, because if the Ajakuta something has been sold illegally, that's a case of fraud, that's a case of abuse of office, that's a case of corruption. How does it relate to sexual harassment? And the most painful part of it is that Ekiti people are very intelligent people. You hardly see a family where there's no professor.
Now then get professor pass for the
professor pass. So it is, and that goes back to my point that sometimes it is the worst that is leading the rest rather than the best. Because you ought to have been intelligent enough to be able to know that this is a sexual harassment case. You are not supposed to bring a fraud case because you just want to nail the identity of Natasha. And to now go back to my own point, because I don't speak in vacuum, there's a way to connect these things if you listen to me very well. Now, to now kind of like narrow it down to the three angles that I give you: the oration of the man, the oration of the woman. That issue is between them, that they won't tell anybody until it is necessary. So were you there when Akpabio made those remarks? Is Natasha not beautiful enough? No, let us even look at this senator. Is Natasha not beautiful enough to end such remarks? No, let us even okay, wait, precious. Let us take another dimension.
I would like go call that Akpabio video with
give me 1 minute. Give me 1 minute.
Okay, when you finish,
give me 1 minute.
We'll go watch the video.
Let me go even another round. Let us take another dimension. Is Natasha not beautiful enough to end such remarks? What are they telling me? Is Akpabio blind? Does Akpabio not have eyes to see beautiful ladies? No, is Natasha not, because most of them are remarking about it as if Natasha is one monkey or one chimpanzee. No, Natasha is a beautiful lady, a pretty one at that. I'm not sure whether my senator or House of Rep is as beautiful as Natasha. Let us be sincere with ourselves. Natasha is beautiful enough to end such remarks.
And intelligent too.
And intelligent and pretty, to end such remarks. If Natasha advertise herself as a single lady today, everybody, including some of them, including some of these people, if Natasha lose guard, some of all these people that is shouting, screaming, and all these things, in fact, some of them, if Natasha approach them and say, "Oh, Senator, I like your contribution on the floor, and I think you look handsome. Can we meet and have some discussion so that we can know ourselves better?" They will jump at it too. All these senators with 10 years agbada, they will jump at it. So they shouldn't make it look as if it is impossible, despite the fact that it is only an investigation that can bring out the reality. But the way some of them are behaving as if Natasha is one ugly chimpanzee. No, Natasha is a pretty lady, in the true sense of being pretty. So they shouldn't try to kind of like victimize the woman. So you that have never seen you bring motion on the floor of the on the floor of the Senate, you that you are not popular, suddenly Natasha case came, you want to shine, and you now stand up. And to not make matters worse, we know how governance is run in Nigeria. There's some things I can't say on here, but we know that it is difficult for you to rule as a governor, as a commissioner, as a senator, and your hands will be 100% clean. Let us be realistic to yourself. It is very difficult. So fire me where sit down, Jeje. Fire me where they sleep. Internal don't end. All the right thing, all the wrong thing where he do, internal don't end. He's no longer a minister. He's enjoying his, post-service life. You now want to go and resurrect the unresurrectable. And that's why Fayemi quickly came out. And that's why Fayemi quickly came out to roar like thunder. I've never seen him roar like that. I say, no, not lie. Natasha no accuse me of anything. No be me saying you day your day like Fubara. Nobody worry Fubara. Just day your day there. Day your day, make a day. The people in your state, they are good at, all this composing. It was during the Fubara week I know that people good. But the only thing but the only thing they say, you never compose song for me, precious. Maybe, maybe now when quarter day. Maybe now when quarter day. Maybe make a quarter with you, self. Because if I say now they when quarter day. But on the most serious note, so Fayemi had to come out almost immediately and say, no, day your day. Make I day my day. Nobody worry Fubara. Don't bring me in. Natasha Akpoti have never accused me of sexual harassment. In fact, they were talking about Ajaokuta. Fayemi left Ajaokuta and was talking about sexual harassment, because they talk about Ajaokuta and lose guard. You don't understand? See,
because the bone of contention is sexual harassment. So you bring back the matter home.
I tell people that you don't need to read politics. Just be interested, because politics is a ubiquitous and a contagious phenomenon. That means it affects everything, and it affects everything, every area and aspect of your life. And the kind of country we have, we cannot have this kind of politics, this kind of democracy, and you are not interested in what is going on in that democracy. Look at the politics Fayemi played. They submitted a petition for sexual harassment. Now, they now want to bring your own matter and they want to drag you when you were sleeping. That, this same person accused you of selling Ajaokuta, and they now brought you in as regards Ajaokuta. When you are going to respond, you say, Natasha did not accuse me of sexual harassment. I have no sexual affiliation with Natasha. Now, Ajaokuta then talk. You live at Jakuta.
No, but
begin for no sexual harassment. Now there you go, no. Now there you go, no. Say Fayemi a wise guy. Fayemi now he's quickly remove himself. Say where things we don't go on. Where we say anything we don't go on. Everything don't lay low. You won't come put torchlight for my own case. In fact, Fayemi may have called that senator and tongue-lashed him every day that boy be the crazy. Why you go they mention?
But the guy talks say he get petition now. Petition on this matter where he won't go submit to Akpabio. Now we Fayemi don't stand now.
It shows that no petition will come up, and if the Senate is as intelligent as it's supposed to be, what would be the prayer of that petition? Let us go a bit deeper. Because as I go now, they draw me deeper. Now make I go deeper a little bit. What would be the prayer of that petition? If you are submitting a petition to the Senate, it must have what they call prayer, which is what do you want? It's as simple as that. What do you want? Yes. They use that language in the court of law to that. What is your prayer?
Yes.
So if you are now bringing that petition against Natasha, what would be the prayer in that petition? What's your prayer? What would be your prayer? Abi, if you are bringing it, what would be your prayer? And if you bring that petition, have you forgotten that when you are bringing that petition, Fayemi must sign. And if Fayemi sign, Fayemi will be supponia to come and give testimony on the floor of the Senate. It's not that easy to say. So Fayemi will be supponia to come and give testimony at the floor of the Senate. Okay, what happened between you and Natasha? And do you know why some of them want to throw out that petition? That petition, if they allow that petition to sail through, if Natasha resubmits that petition, that investigation is incomplete until Akpabio himself appear before that panel to give testimony. And because Nigerian politicians ride on
so they don't want that to come.
Of course. Now Akpabio must appear in front of that panel to give testimony. What happened between you and Natasha? He must answer questions. Of course. Both of them must sit down. Natasha must listen to Akpabio's testimony, and there will be a question and answer session when Natasha must be able to ask questions and tender evidence. But because they don't want this thing to come to the open, they are now doing it in a kind of intimidatory aspect rather than persuasion. The Senate has adopted the intimidatory approach rather than the persuasive approach. Send females, send mothers to Natasha. Let them persuade her. Let them talk to her.
Dr. DJ.
Yes, ma'am.
I beg, no vex. The person will be in charge of that committee, na person will be a Labour Party member. Then they in charge of that committee. So it means say all of say they always talk, say the people they want to put at the helm of affairs and a representation of who we be for inside this country. So it means say even if King be coming as a Labour Party member, so it means say irrespective of party now, all of us now the same thing. Because if you look at the way the matter use go, people come they talk, say they fix the time of the hearing for 1 or 2 o'clock when they know say she's supposed they court at that time. Is it stylishly done so that as she not come, next thing they go suspend her for disregarding the committee? Where they say them come, they consider, especially the committee we're supposed to look into her matter concerning sitting position.
Well, the thing, that's
the ethics and privileges committee, yes.
That's a bit dicey in the true sense of it, because if you look at it, the Natasha issue, if you look at it very, very well, it is very difficult to stop the Senate. And I'm speaking as a political scientist. The little knowledge that I have about the proceedings and as regards law, every arm of government is independent. So if the Senate wants to do something within the chambers that it appears that it is about the Senate, it's very difficult for a court of law to stop the Senate. It's a bit difficult. I think lawyers can speak more on that you cannot stop the Senate from carrying out its function. So if a senator has placed an allegation, it is within the right of the Senate to now say they want to investigate. But then the Senate is not showing interest in investigation. And that's where the problem is. And it shows, see, at the end of the day, I made a point earlier. I said at the end of the day, Akpabio will walk free, but we not walk clean. And if I am Akpabio, if I happen to be Akpabio's political strategist, I would tell him that if you look at the population of women in Nigeria, if you look at your international reputation and all that, You see, you need to walk free and walk clean. Both must come side by side. Yes, walk free and walk clean. So the way the Senate is conducting itself, the way people are playing what I can call the I love you more than God approach. You see, that I love you more than God approach first came to my mouth, I think, on Silverbird TV many years ago when I just started all this TV analysis years back. And I just used the word, I love you more than God approach. And after the session, the producer came to me and said, you said something that people at the background, you're just saying, I said, what's that? He said, I love you more than God something. I said, well, it just played in my mind. I've even forgotten it. Now, that I love you more than God approach is that the senators are acting as if they love Akpabio more than God. No, you cannot love Akpabio more than the God that created him. No, you can't. So they are acting as if they even love Akpabio more than God. And that's why I said they are using their I love you more than God approach, because Akpabio is your colleague, Natasha is your colleague. Let there be an investigation. Let there be an investigation. Let us hear. You see, you bear me witness as a lady that when you give people opportunity to hear their mind alone, it's a form of healing.
Yes, it's therapeutic. It's therapeutic for them to be able to express themselves.
If you're having problem with me now, and you are very angry with me, that they invite you for analysis, you didn't come on time, and I've already set my studio, you shouldn't be doing like that, you disappointed me like 68 billion times now, it's unfair, and you're like, and I'm like, okay, sorry, what have I done? Me giving you that listening ears alone. At the end of the day, you may, women, you may shout, you may scream, you may this, you may that, but because I have listened to you,
did you just profile us? Say you know women.
Relief. Yeah, a little bit relief will come your way. Now, this is where the problem is. This is where the problem is. So long as they try to gag Natasha, so long as they try to intimidate and suppress her, Natasha will keep fighting back to the detriment of Akpabio. And that's why I said, I love you more than God. Sometimes, when you think you are protecting people, you are harming them. In this instance, the likes of Okoyemi Bamidele, the likes of that Cyril, that Ekiti senator, they are even harming the Senate president. Because if they know the principle of interpersonal relation, or they have a bit of knowledge of political behaviors, and some related subject as regards, relation in a political atmosphere, they would have known that the best way to silence Natasha, the best way to kind of like tape Natasha, a Natasha that fought Yaya Bello, you think we'll be scared of Akpabio? No, let us use some sense. Let us apply some sense here. A Natasha that fought Yaya Bello to stand still. Yaya Bello dug the road to our village so that it will stop INEC material. Yes. Natasha still won. Yaya Bello want to use money to silence her. Offered her, I think, at the early stage, maybe 50 million, 100 million. Natasha still proceed. So if that kind of woman, she has shown that she is resolute, she has shown that her eyes is on the ball, and she has shown that nobody can intimidate or harass her. Natasha, with profound respect to her, for my viewers to understand, is a perfect definition of what we can call stubborn goat. If you see a stubborn goat, those stubborn goats in your village, that usually eat all this crop that they pursue, that they will still come back.
Yes.
That is with profound respect. I'm not casting a trouble. I just want to carry my viewers along so that they understand. I don't want to use all this big English, and to get them lost. Stubborn goat in your village. That is how Natasha is. So the more you try to intimidate her, Natasha is just like a stubborn goat. She will keep, and the more she keeps, acting, the more she is bringing the grace to you. Natasha doesn't have anything to lose. Natasha knows that maybe the highest she can get is to become a deputy governor, because to become a governor will be difficult. Nigerian men are very stingy, very greedy with power. So she knows that the kind of political climate she's operating on, it will be difficult for her to become a governor. So she knows the best she can get is to become a deputy governor. She is already a senator. You are Akpabio, now you won't be president. Natasha no won't be president. So you are the one that have something to protect. You are the number 3 citizen. Natasha is not the number 3 citizen. You are the Senate president. Natasha is not the Senate president. So you have to have that principle of interpersonal relation to be able to sit down. And that is why I blame Nigerian politicians. They don't have political strategists. This matter that happened is a small thing, though. But the problem is they don't have political strategies. That is the problem. All they believe in is money, private militia, gun, this, that, scatter it, destroy it. A simple political strategies would have helped resolve this thing. In the sense that
okay.
I don't know.
We need to exhaust this. We don't talk this for almost 1 hour. So that we'll enter River State issue and other cases.
You can't silence Natasha. It is obvious. So you have to have used another strategy to be able to kind of like at least, make her apply some natural restraint. But instead of that, everybody is coming for her, everybody is abusing her, they will go on. For instance, you mentioned this, and I forgot to respond on it. The issue of kiss. That is just a normal kiss. What Natasha gave her husband, that kiss is passing a message that I am totally see. People should see. I feel sad. Precious, please allow me. I feel sad.
Okay.
The level of ignorance.
While I allow you, can I ask you a question along that line? What is wrong with Natasha's husband kissing her? And then what is not wrong? What is also not wrong with a senator, House of Rep member, coming to the house with his family, 4 wives, and saying that we are big enough to be a constituency, to be a local government, Which of them is more creating of content? Now that local government, now that person have been Natasha and be more content creator now. Please, I want to understand.
Good. Now,
based on the analysis of the spokesperson of the Senate,
sexual harassment allegation. One of the first people that reacted, the first line, like as in the people that is affected, which is Akpabio's family, wife, children, Natasha's family, wife, children. The first reaction came from Akpabio's wife. She declared total support for Akpabio, and even said Akpabio is an handsome man. That every woman, including Precious, including Precious, she said every woman. Are you not a woman? She said every woman. I'm quoting Akpabio. She said every woman. And she said every woman we like to have. Beauty lies in the eyes of the beholder, anyway. Beauty lies in the eyes of the beholder. So naturally, she will be contradicting herself. If she says Akpabio is not the best, why you marry her? You marry her so that you born 4 girls. In fact, where are those Akpabio's daughters anyway? Make I post one. Let me see the reaction of Akpabio. Pressure, now you they get everybody's number. Wait. You are a media. Now you they get everybody's number. Send me the number of Akpabio's daughter. I want to toast her. Make her come see the reaction of Akpabio. I want to go to Akpabio's gate and say, all the police, make them flog me. I don't mind. Say, I'm looking for your daughter. I want to have a conversation with her. Now you want to marry her. Nobody you go marry her. Now man go marry her. Then you will see that these people, I'm going somewhere, man. These people cannot tolerate any form of interaction alone with their wives, with their children. They protect them. Is it even people that you see in Nigeria? People that they will send to the best schools, they charity. You don't see wicked children. Wicked children resemble militants. Let me shatter some tables here. When you saw wicked children, when they went to Tinubu, did they look like militants?
Did they look like
militants? Did they look like militants?
No, by look.
How many?
So did you calm down? By look.
By look, did they look like militants?
Picture. By look.
They're not fresh.
Okay.
You don't see the English when they come out of their mouth.
Okay.
You don't see the
English. If we say look first now, we judge with look first now. So I can't say
you don't see the English when they come out of their mouth. Okay. But at the end of the day, when the election comes, River State is popularly known for violence, And at the end of the day, we are still going to River State. So let me keep some of these things because the weekend lawmaker that are giving 48 hours. I have a video on my phone where Wike was blasting people that you give 48 hours. You give.
Send the video to me. Doctor, did you send the video for backyard? Make a play here. Send her as they talk. So as they talk,
I go get distracted. I go get
No. But before you continue, make we just quickly play that video on Bianca. Say you've been called on that video when you talk, say during that Bianca Ojukwu screening.
Okay, you don't get the video there.
I get the video. I did ready. I won't go play and maybe people watch.
Okay, you get that place. You get that place where Akpabio look like person where they lick lips. You know, say there are two ways to lick lips. If I see you as a pretty lady, now if you do like this, no, see pressure. You know if you stop me, I know they on your radio, your VOP.
I know they do radio again. I don't have to.
Now I see you now, so you be pretty lady. Make her say, oh, pressure. You know, and I feel look you now. For my mama, I only look you say, this pressure. So oh, this girl said to I catch this girl. Oh yeah. Play that video, make them see her.
All right.
Everybody watching us.
Go and
play that video. All these senators that are abusing Natasha, do you know that?
Distinguished colleagues, we have before us a very elegant stallion, a well-known personality across the nation, and today a nominee for the office of Minister of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Mrs. Bianca Ojukwu. You may just proceed to Ambassador, actually, Her Excellency, Ambassador Bianca Ojukwu. You can summarize your resume and then probably answer one or two questions from distinguished senators. You have the floor.
Thank you, sir. The President of the Senate.
No, let me start with comments. Let me go to the state of Anambra. Unfortunately, may he so rest in peace. She comes from the Senatorial District of our late brother, Senator Ifeanyi, who is not here, and the closest person, the two closest senators after Ifeanyi will have to say something about the nominee. But it's from home that we know you. Distinguished Senator Victor Ome.
Nobody can fault.
Restrict yourself to her resume. Otherwise,
Okay.
we'll go into social media and Google. I will ask a question. Who touched my Bianca?
Mr. President, you know me. Because Her Excellency Ambassador Bianca Ojukwu, her nomination is very significant.
Okay, so unfortunately, I'm not sure CIP's view I'm reached to the end, but Dr. Deji, I'm sure you see part of that video. I know reach the side where lips leak and where they leak face and where they.
You hear with your guy Akpabio.
Yeah, go ahead.
We have
Say, don't touch my Bianca.
Elegant stallion.
Then if it's Conde.
Odu could die again for engrave that day. No person we don't die. He still die again. As Odu could just watch, and just they die that day. Odu could die again for engrave. Now when did you see say let me get Bianca? You remember that song? Come on your eye for church money. Now Pastor Meta. Now so Odu could they cry for engrave say Akpabio, come on your eye for Bianca. Now me get her. So just look at it. We have an elegant stallion. If man won't come do Senate clearance something now, you'll see all of them they go serious and see all of them. I will appreciate if our viewers can go and watch the full clip. And some of them, we're trying to. In fact, they even lost control of asking intelligent questions and coordinating that thing the way they should coordinate it to make it rigorous to grill her. No, most of them
no, they couldn't.
were just
they couldn't.
And now I'm seeing now on the screen that Senate Ethics Committee submits report. So it's only one. You guys sat yesterday. You sat on the matter yesterday. Today you have submitted report. How long did it took you to write that report? Do you know what it is to write a report? You would give a summary of the testimonial of everybody that appeared before you. Then you will now, take the written submission of every member of that committee. What is your own take? It's just as if you are in a law court. So if you and I are in the Senate committee now, you cannot submit a report without getting my input. And because it is a legislative thing that we go into the records of the Senate, I must write as a member of the committee, except if they operate in a different way that is different from, the way they operate in Senate climes across the world. If they put you in a committee, you must write, okay, during this sitting, I haven't heard the testimony of I haven't heard the testimony of so and so person. This is what I feel. This is my own position. Where was the time to write that between yesterday and today? That the committee is now submitting its report. What kind of report? So at the end of the day, you may see the report and it may just appear like the homework of a secondary school student. Because where is the time for you to come up with a rigorous report? And you know that when you are carrying out an investigation, there may be need to kind of like summon other people again. If you want to submit a report, Natasha Akpoti did not appear before your committee yesterday. A letter was sent by a lawyer, right? Now, you may want to probe further, right? That order of court, did you go to the court to verify? The next adjourned date for that case, did you go to the court to make presentation? Did you get lawyers of the Senate to make presentation on why you think the court shouldn't have granted such injunction in the first place? That in this case, the judiciary tends to now be kind of like interfering with the function of the legislature. Did you get the court to vacate that order? Then you now bring Natasha back so that you can give her fair hearing. So between yesterday and today, what is the rush? And that is why I have asserted that at the end of the day, Akpabio will walk free, but not clean. I haven't seen this. I haven't seen it before I made that assertion as a political scientist. That at the end of the day, Akpabio will walk free. Already he's walking free, apparently, but he won't walk clean. Because is he clean? No. So the way the Senate is conducting itself leaves much to be desired. For instance, now, a Senate of the Federal Republic of Nigeria have conducted an investigation. Do you think the Senate have done justice to it? You, Pressure, do you think the Senate have done justice?
No. Now.
Most of our viewers, most Nigerians think they have not done justice. In that kind of instance, Akpabio may be walking free, but of course he's not walking clean.
Wow, Dr. Deji, this one paid me well. But then what does it tell? I was going to ask you that. What does it mean very quickly? If you can just do that in 1 minute. What does it mean to the support of women in Nigeria? Because somebody here dropped a message on the comment section. Let me see if I can bring it up, pop it up. He says, Obi says, in Mauritius, if you praise a married woman, you have a price to pay. Nigeria is a lawless country. So do you think that we just have laws that disregard or that does not have respect for women, and that's why we see this kind of thing happening? And we also see women being used against their own gender.
Okay. Well, the truth is that I feel that women are largely disrespected in this country, and if you give me time, I'll pick it from different perspectives. In the sense that, for instance, even we prefer respect. Even in terms of religion, right? We prefer respect to my Muslim people, prefer respect to them. Some of them believe that it is normal, it is right for a man to have 3, 4 wives. That means as a man, you deserve 3, 4, right? But because that person is a woman, she must be under a man and be struggling to cope and survive with 3 other different women. We prefer respect to them, okay? Now, in the political sphere, and that religious aspect now cut across to the political sphere, in the sense that there are some states in this country that a woman can never become a governor because they believe that it is wrong for a woman to be a leader and be dictating for the men. So those kind of things abound. Have we not seen cases whereby you want to employ somebody to work? Somebody brought a case to me some time ago as regards somebody trying to kind of like have intercourse with her before she gets a job. And I said, well, what I think is, if you will be employed, but you won't do the job, or you are not qualified for the job, it's okay. Or if you so desire, fine. But for the fact that you are qualified for the job, you have gone to school, you have studied, and you passed the interview, and you have all the required skill, for that job. If you give your body to get this job, is the person going to sign that regardless of anything, you won't be fired for the next 10, 15 years? Because you can give your body to this person and you are fired in the next 6 months. What will happen? Then you will be made to do. Sleeping with that person doesn't mean you won't do the job. Let us get that right. You will be made to do that job. You must do the job. You must.
So it doesn't come with any special privilege.
So
it doesn't come with any special privilege.
It doesn't come, even if it comes
then what's
with
the need?
Special privilege. You know, there's an aspect of dignity. I don't know what the word has become, but when I, was still a little bit young than this, I know that, the only way that time that you can get into a woman's heart is, to take it step by step, to be very meticulous. It's not just easy to see a woman and you say, oh, I want to have you. No, even if you are a scam, even if you just want to play game, you still have to find a way to appear real. That real aspect is what will spark the emotion on the part of the lady. So, but what do we have now? You just see a lady, I took Precious down memory lane. Great people that are watching me. Precious did.
So Dr. Deji,
wait.
Deji,
No. There's no Dr. Deji. No. You cannot stop me. No, you will not. You will not. No, you will not. I must make this point. You cannot. No, you will not stop me. When I, and if people are doubting me, they should revert the video back a little bit. When I made that submission, wait now. When I made that submission, Precious made a big. I can see that I carry you from now, go back. You remember the days of old. I carry you, go there, I carry you. As they used to say.
Yoruba. Dr. Deji. Yes. So the complaints of human rights violations in Nigeria rose to about 25% in February 2025. This is according to the National Human Rights Commission. So with what Natasha Akpoti is going through, is it not also an infringement to her fundamental human rights, and especially the way the Senate is covering it? And is it not the same Senate that should actually speak to stop this kind of acts? There are the ones now people are supposed to speak to stop this kind of thing. As if we say human rights violation for the country don't date 25% even higher than they ever did before for life. People were supposed to do laws we could control them, but then come be like saying, and then they add to the human rights violations. Well, if you can make it short, just make it a quickie.
Okay, you are very correct, and I agree with you in terms of rights violation, because if Natasha has a skill, for instance, if Natasha is a medical doctor, she's not a medical doctor. I'm not using this for instance.
She's a lawyer.
If she's
a lawyer.
Okay. If Natasha is a lawyer and there is something that relates to law, right, and you now deny her that right because of all these issues, then it begins to call into question the integrity of the Nigerian Senate itself. So the area of rights protection needs to be looked into, because Natasha, see, maybe people, I don't know, with profound respect to my people, I don't know, maybe people just watch TV just for the fun of watching it. But sometimes when I watch TV, I go beyond the watching to watch what is not being said, to look at it. And when Natasha was making that submission, the pain at which she was making that submission, you would see that there's a lot of behind the scene that needs to kind of like come forward to the Nigerian people, and she mentioned on Rekete Radio that a lot of things, even international,
she has gone through a lot
that she's well qualified for, that they would remove her, and when she investigates, they will say, oh, they don't want to promote her, they don't want to give her that coverage and everything, so that itself calls into question. And you see this slide, sometimes it's turn by turn, and that's why I pity Ireti Kingibe. When they were doing it for Ireti Kingibe and she was shouting, people were having pity on her. Now it's Natasha's turn. It's the same Ireti Kingibe that's trying to water down Natasha's claim. And I don't know why everybody seems to kind of like be against that lady, maybe because she's more beautiful. Because if we do a beauty contest, Natasha is beautiful than all these ladies, all these old ladies that are saying I'm old enough to be her mother.
But Ireti is also a beautiful woman at her age. Senator Reti is also a very beautiful woman at her age. She's a beautiful woman.
No, fit toast her. No fit call her.
Oh, because you know fit call her
maybe
woman.
she's your specs. My specs is Natasha.
So Dr. Deji,
make Uduaghan come carry me, make Uduaghan come arrest me, help me call this person and say Natasha na my spec. In fact, you know, they say you go expect tire, no evidence. And Uduaghan, you arrest people that should be in the right letter. In the following way, go send it, the share keys. You go write letter tire. Maybe now the next letter now to Deji, because I don't declare say now that Natasha go.
Might be your speak.
Now be my speak out of all those female senators. Because you see, on the most serious note, jokes apart, you see, I'm disappointed. You see, they usually say men support men, right? Men support men. Akpabio is being accused. The men, you know, they use their witchcraft. You know, they take cover around. Everybody they rally around them. Now, women are not even supporting are not even supporting Natasha. They are not even making her to feel important or to feel that okay, you have a point. Okay, let us just hear you. Everybody just wants to silence. And at the end of the day, it is this same woman that will be clamoring that equal representation, gender, something, whatever. So it's the reaction from women generally has been largely disappointing. And to not make it worse in the sense that there's a condition precedence. Everybody know the case of Joy Nune now. Say, you know, I slap her.
On national TV, now she's talking. I slapped him because of his plan B. I slapped him.
When you play that video, I don't remember to watch Akpabio cheek. You know, slap her. Yeah, that joining a crazy. In fact, I dey fear Port Harcourt guests now. You know, say joining and your sister, you be Port Harcourt girl too.
No problem,
I don't near you, no go slap me. I beg you.
No problem.
I don't touch you. Analyze. Now, virtual with the analyze before Port Harcourt people now.
We know they're the same room, just so that
we know they're the same room. If I see you now studio, I meet you to analyze. So,
Dr. Deji, let's go straight to our Port Harcourt here with the issues that's going on. This new guys, did I say new guys? This 27 lawmakers, they don't give the governor quit notice. Say make it give all in political appointees quit notice. Make them come out within 48 hours. In fact, the language of choice within they use, then call all the political appointees for River State, then call them imposters. So all these imposters, the choice of word, the way they carry themselves, they use that choice of word. All these imposters, they are rogues, you know, the kind of name they use, they call the political appointees, including the Attorney General, that is the Commissioner for Justice for inside the state. Say all of them, because all of them, they know pass through them.
Sorry, man, breaking news.
Breaking
news, man. Sorry, breaking news.
Yes, sir.
Senate committee 6-month suspension for Natasha. Where is the Senate?
Not be 2 months that they suspend again. Not be 2 months that they suspend again.
Senate committee 6 months for Natasha.
6 months
you know,
suspension.
I think they are debating it now. Yes, 6 months.
And usually their suspension is it not usually 2 months suspension that they go for? Is it not 2 months? I'd not be waiting. We know say they always, you know, adopt 2 months. You come back, apologize to the house, you go back again. So from 2 months now, they carry 6 months put on top. It's okay. So moving on. What I like her resilience in some part where she talks, no matter what happen, she will continue to defend her people. And
maybe you can play the Akpabio video that the wicked video that I sent to you, because I sent you the video.
Okay, yes, I'll play the video. I already have it too. But going to this issue for inside waiting they happen for inside River State. How you see this ultimatum wouldn't give Fubara working out? Do you think it's going to be possible for this ultimatum to stand? That's on the one hand. On the other hand, Kasala don't do for River State already. Do you think there's a deliberate attempt to ensure that they cause chaos so that they could declare state of emergency for River State? Because this issue of attacking Fubara supporters, we basically don't even shoot up to 6 or 4 or 8 people, depending on the reports from different quarters. They don't shoot them. They don't sustain gunshot injuries because of, say, they pledge loyalty from one person to the other. But whilst I wait for your response, let's take that video you talked about from
Congress, threatening government. You are wasting your time. I don't know why people don't even know who they're dealing with. Me, threatening me, 48 hours. Instead of you to come to government. What is the problem? What happened? into threatening government, ultimatum. Thunder fire you and ultimatum.
Hey, Dr. Deji said thunder fire you an ultimatum. Hey, you hear what's in your friend Wiki talk?
No, now your guy,
Dr. Deji.
Your former governor. Not be your former governor.
Nah.
But the thing is,
now former be not be president's governor.
I think that the Rivers State House of Assembly should take it easy in the sense that you already have the power in your hands, and the time you will use to wait is not up to the time that you've been waiting all along. And the governor said he wants to get the certified true copy of the Supreme Court's judgment. Then he will study it, and he has made commitment to implement it. So why the rush? To my mind, I don't think the rush is necessary. And to begin to use words of threat and all that, no. You know, I don't think that is right. But I think the Rivers State House of Assembly is acting in a hasty way. I think the Rivers State House of Assembly is too hasty right now at the moment as regards the representation of the budget. The Supreme Court has already kind of like owed the governor by the jugular by withholding allocation. So you already have the power in your hands. And to not look at it, perhaps from the moral ground, away from the legal, is that you guys are the descendant of Wike. And you just played a video of Wike, their political godfather, making submissions as regards, you know, what he feels about the issuance of ultimatum, 48 hours ultimatum to him when he was governor of Rivers State. So I think the Rivers State House of Assembly members should begin to exhibit more maturity and at least, you know, give the governor some time. What you are interested in is the interest of the state. What you're after is the interest of the state. Let it reflect in your conduct. I think that is the way to go. So you already have the power in your hands, and they should act maturely and not only say they are acting for the interest of the state, but let it show. Let people see it. Let ordinary Nigerians, let ordinary Rivers people see that they are truly acting in the interest of the people of Rivers State.
All right, so now where Ibise Senate Committee don't submit their report for Natasha very quickly, going back to the case, because right now, it be like say the proceedings still they go on for inside Senate, and they don't demand say she go apologize to the House. That's one of their demand, and they're also demanding that she's suspended for 6 months. How will we take see this matter they go? So do you think that there's a deliberate suppression of her thoughts or her, you know, the intimidation she complained about?
Well, for me, I think justice has not been done to the matter. I think the Senate is hasty. I think that an investigation in the true sense of investigation, by definition of investigation, wasn't carried out. And I think at the end of the day, because the powers that be at the Senate are too desperate to arrive at a determined conclusion, Akpabio will walk free, but you know, like I said, it's not going to walk clean. And at the end of the day, the integrity of the Senate would have been called to question by Nigerians, by the international community, and all, because the investigation itself is too hasty. Within, you know, by this time yesterday, some of the news is yet to break, right? The news of the petition and all that by this time yesterday. So all of a sudden, you have carried out the investigation, you have written your report, you are no, come on. At least if you wait till like a week, if you give Natasha, your colleague, a sense of belonging, then, you know, what will happen? Nothing will happen. So I think it's too hasty. And I think at the end of the day, because the power is in their hands, they would have a meeting before meeting. They, you know, and when I follow the debate, I'll catch up with you. They must have a meeting before meeting, and all their submission on the floor will be tilting towards suspend Natasha. And at the end of the day, you will see that some of the senators, apart from the principal officers, the senators that will be making the submission will be the less known senators. The popular senators will keep quiet for fear of public reprimand. Somebody like Eyinaya Baribe, for instance, now will keep quiet. Somebody like Oziu Jokalu will keep quiet. But the less known senators that you've not heard from, they'll be the one that they will push. So they'll just be supporting.
You know, see the eye where Eyinaya Baribe be they give the person who be they talk yesterday. You know, the highway they
so you know,
that yesterday.
I think it's
meanwhile, there's another news now, because I hear that Senator Natasha don't resubmit sexual harassment the petition again against. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Hello, Dr. DJ. So she's resubmitted petition again. This time around, she submitted the petition with signatories on behalf of our constituents. So she made a say she not done right, and they don't suspend her. Go ahead. Dr.
That's why I said that if they are not careful, they will keep embarrassing themselves, because at this point in time, you see, you know, the more they try to kind of like intimidate and harass the woman, she will keep fighting back. And you saw what happened now. If they have given her the grace yesterday, okay, Senator Natasha, you made a mistake. Okay, go and amend it, bring it back at a later date. Don't worry, we'll investigate it. We all love you. No matter what it is a family business. And I think as a Senate, we can resolve it. The Senate is matured. We are all matured people anyway. We are all, you know, we are all reasonable minds. And the Senate, as a family, will make sure that this thing is resolved accordingly. And at the end of the day, everybody would be happy. If that is said and that is done, you know, I think, you know, the senator will not. Natasha has proven herself to be a fighter. So the more they are trying to stop her, to, you know, she will keep fighting back, and that's why she has resubmitted the submission in the name of she's planning to resubmit the petition on behalf of her constituents.
She has resubmitted it already on behalf of our constituents. No. She has already resubmitted it on behalf of our constituents. As a matter of fact, the chairman of this, she had this time around, she submitted a petition on their behalf, led by Zubairu Yakubu, one of the signatories to the petition. So let's see how it pans out. And so do you see the Senate indeed giving her taking the recommendation of the ethics committee and giving her a 6-month suspension? And see again, before the international community, a female senator.
They will take the recommendation, but I see a situation, a last order on the schedule, like a last game, a last plan, and then that 3-month suspension. From this 6 months, at the end of it all, I foresee, I'm making the assertion that the suspension won't be 3 months. It won't be 6 months, it will be 3 months. Perhaps that is what they have in mind, but they'll put the 6 months forward, and you know, they will just see they are making some submission, this and that. And at the end of the day, they may under 3-month suspension, but that they won't under suspension with the way the Senate, you know, principal officers have conducted themselves. It won't happen. They would under suspension. But at the end of the day, that itself may bring more trouble, because it will lead to, let me assert now as a political scientist, if they're under that submission, it will lead to a litany of court cases as regards, do you have the right to suspend a senator from representing a constituent? And I think there's a legal authority on that. I think the case of Indume, there's a legal authority on that.
Ali Indume, yes.
Yes, I know there's a legal authority on that. So that will lead to another, you know, another litany of case in the court. And at the end of the day, as the case drag on in court, the media will still be feasting on it. And as the media feast on it, definitely Natasha, we want to be kind of like, you know, justifying an action, and that will continue to bring ridicule to the integrity of the Senate leadership, Godswill Akpabio, the Senate President, and the Nigerian Senate as an institution.
Thank you. Thanks, Dr. Diji. Let me let you be. I mean, we've done 1 hour 30 minutes, and it's been such a wonderful time. I sure so we don't break down the matter then we we're supposed to break down. And I know see people could don't understand a thing or two, but very quickly, if you want jumping on Anambra State, PDP, where we say them bring up form for 40 million till the form closure, the form time close. Nobody can collect it. Nobody prices say how much it's.
Sorry,
what does that mean to democracy in Nigeria?
I did look your comment here. I still want comment here. More money, say yeah. Doctor like Precious. See quarrel. Wait till we talk. Yes, which doctor like Precious?
Precious, did you leave that matter now? So Dr. Deji, now that you're talking about it, let me take comments. After comments, I take your thoughts on that Enugu, Anambra State incident. Hi, Madam Precious. I have missed your humor, voice, special way of saying sir. Is that your caller with sweet voice on evening rush? Oh, I had to quickly subscribe. Oh my goodness, honey, thank you. There's this sweet caller that I have, that calls in. She says, so I could see and hear your beautiful voice and personality. I love you, Mom. I love you too. I love you, darling. Thank you so much, Oluchi. Okay, yeah, you can run along. Go ahead. No, not run along. You can just drop your comments on that Enugu State, Anambra State, PDP.
Can I go while you take?
I know, say you won't go. I know. I say just quickly give me your take on that PDP form that you run. No vex.
On that what?
The PDP issue were raised now. Say they bring a form and nobody prize them. And close time.
I didn't get that.
PDP in Anambra State, PDP for Anambra State, put their governorship aspiration form for 40 million naira. Until the time for the form collection closed, one person no buy the form. Now they try to ask you.
You don't go use your money buy lots now. If they say you can't use your money buy lots, you go buy them. And I think you already know that maybe PDP does not have a stronghold in the state. I'm not from Anambra State, but for people not to be buying, that means that the probability of using PDP as a purpose vehicle to attaining power is quite less, and that's why PDP is not getting the patronage. So if the probability is less and you are setting a price as high as 40 million naira, then it is unrealistic. But at the end of the day, PDP is still a party to reckon with, so the party will eventually field in somebody. But I think naturally that the 40 million is on the high side. Okay, is on the high side. I think it is unjust, and those are some of the things that leads to political corruption. Because if you spend 40 million on form alone, we need to campaign, media presence, logistics, party agents, and all that. So at the end of the day, the judiciary will be called in to determine the election. You still have to find millions to pay the lawyer, hundreds of millions to pay the lawyers, and all that. So those are the kind of things that gives us the kind of flawed democracy that we have not been having the dividend of democracy. But I think that the 40 million is quite high, and what will it cost PDP to give the form for free? And that brings me to the fact that it is very difficult for intelligent people in Nigeria to get to political office. If Precious has a lot of intelligence, a lot of things to offer, does Precious have 40 million to buy from just the form? So at the end of the day, you see that the price of form doesn't reflect the economic reality of people. As is a way of restricting people. So it's an open democracy, should be popular participation, but money has restricted people from participating. So it is now a kind of like a system of government for the rich, in the sense that you cannot be who is who if you are not rich, except you will be sponsored by Godfather, who may have apparently earned the money through illegitimate means itself.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Dr. Moshola Deji, Doctor of Political Science. I appreciate you big time as you follow us today for Inside the Studio. It means a lot to me that you obliged my request. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate you. Thank you. All right. Okay, we'll have to let you go now. Thank you so much. All right, so reacting to your messages very quickly. Obi says, yesterday I followed you. I didn't know the time I slept off. Oh, I'm so sorry about that. So I'm going on by 5:30 today. We just thought to do a quickie with Dr. Deji, analyzing all of these issues surrounding River State and Natasha Akpoti. And I'm glad that there's also a development now that she has been suspended. The House committee has submitted their report and are recommending her suspension. What does Nigeria? What does Nigeria become? What has Nigeria become? Is that what you're trying to say? Which group of people wrote this letter? You mean Natasha's brothers, Kingsmen? And he said Nigeria has gone. This is a state capture. Anybody preparing for 2027 should forget it, my dear brother. That is scary, but we must fight. You see, that's the problem. See, if you can't give up. If you give up, you don't give them the power we didn't want. So you cannot give up. So giving up is not an option because that's what they want. Okay, so how long will you keep giving up for? What would you be proud of that you fought for your generation for? You give up and you let them rule and destroy the country any way they like. Then what have we gained? The countries that have it right, even if you say me you japa, countries that you japa to get them right. Now human beings fight for the good governance so they enjoy today. They didn't get it on a platter. So you also have to fight. We must do what we have to do. And one of that is now that we're having the right information, we should use this right information to inform those that are less informed. And that's why I break the conversation down. in a way that everyone can understand, so that they too, in turn, can ensure they reach out to others. Kenezike says Wiki should let Fubara govern his state. This is about 2027 because he will not be able to deliver the state APC. Oh wow, money! I see that message you dropped there. Doctor likes Precious. Dr. She's a very good friend. Let me not say like Akpabio, a very good family friend. Obi Tobi says Ireti Kingibe have submitted herself. There is no fight between him and Wiki. Okay, I think I took this message earlier too, that you talked about Mauritius. Okay, Chuku Kingsley Ahumibe says, all these rascalities will stop when we elect the right leaders. Things will surely change someday. I totally agree with you that things will surely change one day. And that is why I'm doing my part by continuously talking and speaking for the development of our country, because things will change one day. It will only change anyway when we are ready and want it to change. And that is why we must continue to build that consciousness, so that one day people will say enough is enough. We don't tire. If not die, or die not die, make we die and make sure everything better. Obi Dave says, please come back to evening rush. Oh, apologies. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. I really don't like to meddle on that. Thank you so much, Obi Dave. I appreciate you. Thank you to everyone who's been part of this. I'd see you guys by 5:30 p.m. I'm going live by 5:30 p.m. I'll see you again by 5:30 p.m. We'll be talking about other issues. I'll be having Comrade Ayoinka joining me today on the show at 5:30 p.m. And it promises to be an amazing time with us. I love you. I'll see you next time. Enjoy yourself and see you later in the day. Bye.